Rink wide Vancouver. Pre-game, post-game, every game presented by Bodog. From sports odds to free casino games, make a play at bodog.net. Wadden and JPat back with you once again with another edition of the pre-game show. And, well, correct me if I'm wrong, JPat. Didn't we do this last Wednesday? Canucks, Rangers. However, this time around, the Rangers got themselves a new toy to play with.
Yeah, Rangers beat the Canucks 4-3 last week. Canucks were game. They put up a fight, but in the end at Madison Square, Rangers were just a goal better. 4-3 was the final then. And then, they go out and they make the trade for Vladimir Tarasenko. So they have loaded up. He scored in his Ranger debut the very next game at home against the Seattle Kraken. He's played a couple of games now as he fits in on their top line. We'll talk more about the Rangers, but yeah, they were good last week. They're even better as they roll through Vancouver here, the second game of a 4-game road trip.
Let's get to the lineup change, which is presented by Delaney's OK Tire out there on Fraser Highway in Langley. Significant change in goal for the Canucks tonight.
Yeah, and this is a surprise. I know he's on the roster. I was not expecting that the Canucks were going to give Arturs Silovs his first National Hockey League start, the 21-year-old who turns 22 a month from now. He's had a nice season down in Abbotsford. You look at the numbers, 21-9-4 with a 2.48 goals against average and a 906 save percentage. He's played well at the American Hockey League level. Is he ready for big boy hockey? We're going to find out because the Canucks truly throwing him to the wolves here. And not the Hartford Wolf Pack, the Rangers' AHL farm team. These are the New York Rangers. They're one of the hottest teams in hockey. We talked about them loading up with Tarasenko. He joins a really good team that's been playing well for a while now. So great opportunity. Every guy that plays the game wants to be in the National Hockey League. But boy, I'm a big believer in putting guys in a position to succeed. I hope it goes well for Arturs Silovs. He's going to battle. He's been waiting for this opportunity. And by the way, he becomes the third member of the 2019 Vancouver Canucks draft class after Vasily Podkolzin and Nils Höglander to skate in the National Hockey League. This guy was a sixth-round pick, so some found money as the Canucks are getting a start out of a guy who only a handful of years ago was a sixth-round draft choice. He's developed nicely at the minor league level. Welcome to the show, Arturs Silovs. Boy, I hope that he's in fine form because we know what this team looks like defensively on most nights, and that's going to be the challenge for a guy like Silovs tonight.
Yeah, and they're going to want to work hard in front of their new goaltender tonight, something they didn't quite do against Detroit.
Yeah, and they're going to show some new looks up front as well. We should mention that Vasily Podkolzin getting the ultimate promotion. He's going to skate alongside Elias Pettersson and Anthony Beauvillier, so that is now a new look top line, and there are changes throughout. Phil DiGiuseppe getting the promotion as well. He's played hard and he's played well under Rick Tocchet, but should he be a top six forward on this team? He's going to get an opportunity alongside JT Miller and Connor Garland, and it leaves a third line of Andrei Kuzmenko and Brock Besser on the wings with Sheldon Dries in the middle and Dakota Joshua, who looked like he was sort of a flavor of the month early on under Rick Tocchet, drops down to that fourth line with Nils Alman and Curtis Lazar. So that's the way they're going to skate. Doesn't look like any changes to the defense core. Again, these are the guys who are going to have to protect the rookie goaltender making his first NHL start. But yeah, the entire team has to dig in a little bit more. Rick Tocchet talked after the game in Detroit on Saturday about way too many freebies, and then you look at what happened on Monday night at home against those same Red Wings and more freebies. Just not very good defensively, breakdowns all over the place, and they just can't afford that. That was a Detroit team. This is a Ranger team that means business. They're loading up. They want to get on a big playoff run here. So this is going to be a challenge for the Vancouver Canucks. Can they be up to that challenge? I guess we'll find out when the puck drops just after 7 o'clock tonight.
Speaking of not very good defensively, the pair of Oliver Ekman-Larsson and Luke Schenn, not so good these days. Are they going to be able to go on with this pairing?
I wonder about that. And obviously, Luke Schenn's future is in question here as we work our way closer to that March 3rd trade deadline. But in the short term, it feels like the Canucks are going to continue to run out these two veterans. And they struggled mightily against the Red Wings on for 4 of the 6 goals. The first goal of the night, OEL in deep, throws the puck blindly into the middle. And then Dylan Larkin with the turbo boost and just skates right past Luke Schenn on the breakaway, opened the scoring then. So it was a tough night and it got worse from there for those two guys. The problem is the Canucks will want to see more of Quinn Hughes and Ethan Bear together, and that leaves, whatever combos you can come up with Tyler Myers and Riley Stillman as the other defenseman. And right here, right now, it feels like they're going to continue to run out OEL and Luke Schenn, and they have to be prepared to live with the results that come with that.
JT Miller, though, has not been able to find the back of the net. He has gone 8 now without a goal.
Yeah, and it's impossible to say that he's gone cold. And you think of the setup to Brock Besser the other night on the power play, and Besser fanned on just a grade A opportunity, and Miller's picking up assists along the way. Again, it's kind of curious. We'll see what he looks like with Phil DiGiuseppe, not a known goal scorer over on the left side. And Connor Garland and Miller really have been together since Rick Tocchet took over. They've been producing assists, but at some point you think that JT Miller is due for a goal here. Maybe it comes tonight against his former team. Of course, he got his 500th NHL point last week at Madison Square against these Rangers, so maybe he'll get his first goal under Rick Tocchet against his same former team.
Let's take a look at that former team, the Rangers now, who have won 5 straight and got a massive victory over Carolina. Big divisional tilt for the Rangers.
Yeah, and it's the kind of game that I think the Rangers serving notice, they're not giving up on taking a run at top spot in that division. They've still got some work to do, but to go into Carolina and hang a 6 spot on the Canes, that's pretty impressive stuff. Now, so much of it was on the back of Artemi Panarin. His first career 4-goal game. He also had an assist, so a 5-point night. He's in on 5 of those 6 goals. But what a way to start the road trip. They haven't played since Saturday, but they come out here on a roll, as you mentioned. They beat the Canucks, then they beat the Kraken. They pushed their win streak to 5 with a victory over Carolina. So this Rangers team is brimming with confidence. But it's not just a 5-game win streak. They're 7-2-1 in their last 10, and only 4 regulation losses since December the 5th. So the last 2 months of hockey, the Rangers have walked away empty-handed only 4 times. Again, this is a team that has its eyes on a bigger prize down the stretch here and ultimately into the springtime. It's a team that's built to have some success in the postseason, and we'll see what they look like their only visit through Vancouver tonight.
And one of their snipers is Mika Zibanejad, who leads the team in goals and has been red hot lately.
Yeah, he scored the game winner, a deflection against the Canucks in the 3rd period last week, and that just got him going because in the last 4 games, he scored in each of them 5 goals total. And this is a guy that leads the Rangers, 27 goals on the season, 16 of them on the power play. Only Leon Draisaitl has more power play goals in the National Hockey League. We know Canucks penalty killing, it's an issue almost every night out. So if the Rangers do get to work with the man advantage, keep your eye on Mika Zibanejad. He is their leading scorer. And to tell you how stacked this Rangers team is, they go out and they pick up Tarasenko. He's not even on their top unit power play because they've got a power play that has been effective and has been working. And so they've added Tarasenko and his goal scoring prowess to the 2nd unit. And that's how dangerous this New York Ranger team can be when they get the man advantage.
Can't forget about Igor Shesterkin in net as well. Looks like he's going to be fresh tonight against the Canucks.
Yeah, he hasn't played since the win over the Seattle Kraken last Friday and beat the Canucks last Wednesday. And then they went with former Canuck Jaro Halak, who's had a nice season, a bounce-back season for him. Amazing what you could do behind a really good defense and a good team. But it is expected that Shesterkin is going to be in goal tonight. And one of the best in the business. And the fact that he's rested here and should be fresh. What a contrast in goal. The rookie, Arturs Silovs, making his NHL debut against one of the top netminders in the business in Igor Shesterkin. But that looks like it's going to be the battle of the 2 netminders tonight.
All right, we told you about the firepower up front, the goaltender. But, this defense is very good as well. Very good offensively as well.
Yeah, 2nd highest scoring blue line in the National Hockey League. And that might surprise some, but really when you scratch away, I mean, Adam Fox is having a Norris caliber season. And of course, he's already got 1 Norris on his hardware case or in his hardware case on the trophy shelf at home. And he's back playing at that level. And then you've got a guy like Jacob Trouba, who doesn't generate a ton of points, but big, hard, rock solid guy. You always know when he's on the ice and he chips in occasionally, but Keandre Miller is the guy, 29 points on the season, 3 of those assists last week against the Vancouver Canucks. And so, there's the 3 pillars on their defense. Ryan Lindgren, they went out and they added Mikkola as part of that trade. And he's not just a throw-in in the trade for St. Louis. They wanted another guy that could round out the depth on their defense. So 2nd highest scoring defense. Adam Fox is a big part of it, but they get contributions right through the lineup as good teams do. And so, again, one of the many, many challenges that this New York Ranger team is going to pose for a team like the Vancouver Canucks tonight. And that is just working its way through this defense core that 1 through 6 is just about as deep as anybody going in the National Hockey League.
Let's get to the stat that stands out. It's presented by Jason Hominick at jason.mortgage.
Well, everybody knows about the Canucks penalty kill. I feel like we talk about that an awful lot. You want to see how penalties are killed? Watch the New York Rangers tonight. If the Canucks get power plays, that is. But this is the best road penalty kill in the National Hockey League, 86.2%. And so here's the stat that stands out for me, whether it's at home, whether it's on the road. the Rangers are effective on the penalty kill. Whether they're at home, whether they're on the road, the Vancouver Canucks are not. The Canucks have given up nearly twice as many power play goals to opponents as the New York Rangers. 55 for the Vancouver Canucks, just 28 power play goals allowed for the New York Rangers. Yeah, that's a stat that certainly stands out, and we'll see if it changes as these two teams collide for the second and final time here this season. But the stat that stands out, a presentation of Jason Hominick at jason.mortgage.
Let's get to my Bodog Best Bet. I've missed my last two. Feel good about this one. Two high-scoring defensemen in Quinn Hughes and Adam Fox. I got them both over 0.5 an assist in this game, and look at that value right there. I need it, JPat. I need to make some of this money back I've been blowing lately.
Yeah, well, those are two very productive guys. So if there are some goals scored in this game, certainly won't surprise me if we hear the names Adam Fox and Quinn Hughes. I like this one. I got a feeling tonight that you're going to come, that they'll come through, and ultimately you'll come through as well.
All right, love it. I also love this when you tell us who is going to do something in this game.
Well, originally, as I started to prepare for today's pregame show, I didn't have Arturs Silovs down because I didn't think Arturs Silovs was going to be my guy. But man, he is going to be in the spotlight. It's an opportunity. It's going to be a challenge for him. So obviously he has to do something, but I don't want to heap too much pressure on the young guy making his NHL debut. So I'll stick with my original, and that's Connor Garland. Connor Garland scored against the Rangers last week. Remember Quinn Hughes slicing and dicing into the offensive zone and then laid it off, and Connor Garland scored the opening goal for the Vancouver Canucks at Madison Square. He hasn't scored since. Now, he did pick up an assist on Sheldon Dry's goal the other night against the Detroit Red Wings, and he has been chipping away. There have been points, but sort of a point here and a point there. You'd love to see Connor Garland rise up and have a big night, again, on a line that is interesting in its construction with Garland and Miller, who've played together, and we talked about PDG getting an opportunity there. So we'll see what that group can do, but Connor Garland kind of feels like it's time for him to step up and have a big night on home ice against a good New York Ranger opponent. So yeah, Connor Garland. We'll see if he can do something to help the Vancouver Canucks pull off what would be a massive upset against the Broadway Blue Shirts.
Yeah, always a good time when an original six team comes into Rogers Arena. And of course, the rematch of the 1994 Stanley Cup final. Let's see if the rookie Arturs Silovs can lead his team to a victory tonight. This has been another edition of the Rink Wide Vancouver podcast presented by Bodog. For Jeff Patterson, I'm Andrew Wadden. Remember, Rink Wide is the show that always scores.